All right, here's that big old song we sing. This is everybody's song. This song belongs to the whole universe. That's why you get to finish my sentences in this song. That's what this one's about. Once upon a time you dressed so fine, yeah, threw the bums a dime in your prime. People say beware, die, you're bound to fall. You thought that they were all just Now you used to laugh about everybody that was hanging out. Now you don't talk so loud, but now you don't seem so proud about having to be scrounging for your next meal. I feel pretty good. I can only get better. Nobody's on their own tonight. Went to the finest school, all right, Miss Lonely, but you know you only used to get nobody ever taught you how to live out on the street. Now you're gonna have to get you said you would never compromise as you stare into the vacuum of his eye. When you've realized he wasn't selling you any alibi, after he took from you everything that he could steal. It's all yours. Turned around to see the frowns on the jugglers and the clowns when they all did that. You never understood it ain't no good. You should not let other people get you. You said you would never compromise as you stare into the vacuum of his eye. When you realize he wasn't selling you any alibi, after he took from you everything that he could steal. Up or down? Oh, it feels pretty good. Direction tonight. Follow the breadcrumb back to your room. Oh yeah. Now I gotta talk to you just a little bit. You know, it wasn't so very long ago, back at where I live in the South, in Middle Tennessee, We won't say the N-word on the sea cruise. But the weather had turned from cold to cool, and springtime was starting to make a return to the neighborhood. The mornings had a glorious shine to it. That kind of feeling, that spring morning when you're alive again and you're young again and your youth has returned. Now I've gotten into the habit of getting up and taking my daughter to school and then coming back home and having a cup of tea on the back porch with my dog, Fleroy. Now Fleroy's a good dog and he takes notice of what's going on. So we're sitting on the back porch watching a beautiful spring day come alive in the neighborhood. And across the back fence, there's a garage. New neighbors had moved in. And there was a brand new teenage rock and roll band rehearsing at 7:30 in the morning. I'm gonna suggest they call themselves the Early Bird Special. Now, Fleroy looked at me and he gave me that look like, man, they sound pretty good. Now, big sister, she's writing a song from her heart. And you can tell that she's trying to get little brother to act right so she can get across what it is inside her that needs to be said to get out there. But little brother's doing drum rolls all over her well-crafted words and melody. And you can feel the tension across the back fence. Now, me and Leroy, we look at each other and we think, we gotta go take a closer look. So as we're walking across the backyard, thinking about now how we're gonna get in the garage and let them know we're thinking they're sounding good. Out of nowhere, big sister starts to introduce the band. 7:30 in the morning to an empty garage. She don't know me and Fleroy are listening in. We're eavesdropping on the session. So I'm walking across the yard and I'm thinking, that's not right. You can't introduce a band to an empty garage to nobody. But that's when it hit me that I was wrong. That I was carrying judgment in my heart about Big Sister and what she was trying to get across to the world in her own way. And then I understood that introducing the band is not something you leave to chance. It can't be haphazard. It ain't whatever. You gotta go inside yourself and you gotta pull out what it is night after night that these people bring in a form of giving and collaboration in the spirit of love and entertainment and self-expression. Not to mention all the years they spent sitting on the side of the bed practicing their instruments. So it is with great pleasure that I get to introduce you on this stage, and he's got his own stage where he does his own thing, but tonight we're being blessed by Buddy Miller. Take it to the floor. Buddy Miller. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There is a language that some people speak. It is the language of love and it requires no words. That'll be the bass guitar. From Portland, Oregon, the Zen bass man, Denny Bixby. What do you say, Denny boy? Now picture in your mind, if you will, a little boy grows up in the church house. He goes to church on Sunday morning and he helps out with the music. And he comes back home to a house where there's a family with a lot of love, but there ain't a lot of groceries. Little boy goes into the kitchen. He's all full of the Spirit of the Lord for that day, but he's needing a little something to eat. So he goes in, he checks out the refrigerator, not much there to be had. So he reaches in, pulls out a soup spoon, pulls out a cooking pot, a skillet. Pretty soon the rhythm of life starts to come alive right there in that kitchen. His mama walks in and says, "Lord, son, the Lord's got his hand on you." Athens, Georgia, Keo Stroud on the pot sand pan. See what I mean? Then you got a picture in your mind, Spanish moss, and a summer morning in Mobile, Alabama, when the dewdrops lay scattered like diamonds on the front yard. Little barefoot boy comes running back in the house, waving goodbye to his friends, says, "Sorry, boys, I gotta practice the guitar because I'm gonna grow up someday and I'm gonna go and write songs and produce records and play the guitar and spread the word." Will Kimbrough, Mobile, Alabama. Princess on the steeple, all the pretty people, they're all drinking, thinking that they exchanging all kind of precious gifts. Perhaps you better take that diamond ring, go on it. You used to ride on a chrome horse with your diplomat, who carried on his shoulders a Siamese cat. Ain't hard when you discovered that, or he wasn't really where it's at. After he took from you everything that he could steal. It's your song now.